I think that's a ridiculous idea. I hope that they don't mean that. Let's just think about this. We've got all this devastation in Texas. We've got another unprecedented hurricane about to hit Florida, and they want to play politics with the debt ceiling? That will strand the aid that we need to bring to these victims of these storms that have occurred or are about to occur, and then they also want to threaten default on our debt. I think that's ridiculous and disgraceful that they want to play politics with the debt ceiling at this moment when we have fellow citizens in need to respond to these hurricanes so that we do not strand them. I think what the leaders you just described proposed is unworkable, and it could put in jeopardy the kind of hurricane response we need to have. Look, many of us got the calls from the administration and OMB who said FEMA is moving so fast that we're running out of money as early as Friday to Tuesday. So we've got to make sure that we have the authority, legal authority, to go out and be able to put money back into FEMA so we can respond to these hurricanes. Not to mention the fact that we already have to start pre-positioning for the fact that Irma is about to hit Florida. And to play politics with a debt ceiling like Schumer and Pelosi apparently are doing, I don't think is a good idea. Chad.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. To that end, though, as you say, it's disgraceful, but why not then lift the debt ceiling on your own with your own side? The Democrats historically have been critical of your side of not providing the votes on big things. You guys have the majority. Why not provide the votes on your side then? If it's that important, and make that argument in your Congress.
As you know, this takes 60 votes in the Senate. I think what the president doesn't want to do is give more leverage where it shouldn't occur on the debt ceiling. As you know, this takes 60 votes in the Senate. If this was a majority-only vote, we could do what you're saying, but it's not a majority vote. It is a 60-vote bill in the Senate. You know that. Yeah.
Thank you very much. We have the congressional leaders here with us today, and we have a lot to discuss, including the fact that there's a new and seems to be record-breaking hurricane heading right toward Florida and Puerto Rico and other places. We'll see what happens. We'll know in a very short period of time, but it looks like it could be something that will be not good. Believe me, not good. We have many, many things that are on the plate. Hopefully we can solve them in a rational way, and maybe we won't be able to. We'll probably know pretty much at the end of this meeting or the meetings that we'll be having over a short period of time. But our country has a lot of great assets, and we have some liabilities that we have to work out. So we'll see if we can do that. I appreciate everybody being here. Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Nancy, Chuck. Appreciate it very much. And thank you. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Mr. President, are you willing to do a debt ceiling that's connected with Harvey funding for 3 months?
Thanks, guys.
Democrats have proposed?
Thanks, guys.
All right, thank you.
No second thoughts.
President, Congress could do something for DACA recipients?
I hope they do. I certainly hope they do.
What do you mean exactly by revisiting?
Thank you. Thank you, Robert. Thank you very much.
Hello. Well, good afternoon, everyone. As I think you now know, in the meeting down at the White House, the President and the Senate and House Democratic leadership agreed to a 3-month continuing resolution and a debt ceiling into December. I will be adding that as an amendment to the flood relief bill that's come over from the House on the floor, and I'll be supporting it, and that'll be the biggest item, obviously, for the week. After that, we'll be turning to the National Defense bill. Senator McCain is back, and we'll be ready to deal with that next.
Now, earlier today, we had a very productive meeting with President Trump, Leader McConnell, Speaker Ryan. In that meeting, we agreed to pass Aid for Harvey, a continuing resolution, and an increase in the debt ceiling, both of those until December 15th. This is a really positive step forward. It'll work to quickly provide aid to those hurt by Harvey. It'll avoid default, and it'll fund the government avoiding a shutdown. And we all agreed we'd work together in December as well to avoid a default. So it was a really good moment of some bipartisanship and getting things done, no one standing in their corner. We Democrats, you know, some people urged us, don't help at all, particularly on debt ceiling, but we thought for the good of the country we should make the right offer, and we did, and we're very glad the President accepted it. It's for the good of the country. Now, we have a lot more to get done, and we hope we can work in the same bipartisan way on the issues that remain before us that we did at the meeting this morning. We Democrats are absolutely committed to protecting dreamers. And again, we reiterated our desire that Republican leaders put the DREAM Act on the floor immediately. If the House and Senate Republican leaders put the DREAM Act on the floor, it would pass. And it would pass by a significant margin, is our belief. So let's do it. Dick Durbin, who's been such a leader on this, will talk about it in a minute. We also must provide further stability to our health care system, which will help keep costs down for millions and millions of Americans. Patty Murray is working very closely with Lamar Alexander on that issue, and you'll hear from her on that. And we need to come up with long-term government funding deals that keep us safe and fund programs that will help to build the middle class. Today was a good day in a generally very partisan town. And let's hope we can continue to work together for the good of Americans, for the good of the working families who so much need our help. That will be our goal as a caucus.
Prior to leaving the White House, I had a great bipartisan meeting with Democrat and Republican leaders in Congress, and I'm committed to working with both parties to deliver for our wonderful, wonderful citizens. It's about time. We had a great meeting with Chuck Schumer, Nancy Pelosi, and the whole Republican leadership group. And I'll tell you what, we walked out of there, Mitch and Paul and everybody, Kevin, and we walked out and everybody was happy. Not too happy, because you can never be too happy, but they were happy enough. And it was nice to see that happen for a change, because that hasn't happened for a long time in this country, for a very long time.